Hi, good morning, economics students. Yesterday I made a video which talked you through how to determine gross domestic product, the difference between nominal GDP and real GDP. Keep in mind that nominal GDP looks at gross domestic product using current year prices, but if we looked at that example of Northland from 2016 to 2017, notice that Northland didn't increase production of pens, light bulbs, and pencils. The price just went up for those things. Inflation occurred. So if you're looking at 27 GDP using current prices, that would be the nominal GDP for Northland. But if you wanted to figure out, okay, if you wanted to take those price increases out, how would you figure that out? You would have to use what's known as a price index. And so I left you with this practice, these 6 problems in which you're given nominal GDP, a price index, and a population, and you have to find some things. You have to find real GDP for each of those years. You have to find the real GDP per capita for each of those years, and then the percentage rate, the rate of growth for real GDP and real GDP per capita. So here are the answers. I'll let you look through those for a second. Pause the video if you want. So for 1 and 2, I list how to figure those out. You take the nominal GDP, 5,000, divided by the price index of 125 times 100. So your real GDP is $4,000, which means that in that year, if you wanted to show how truly productive your workers were, they truly produced $4,000 worth of goods and services, not 5,000. Same thing for number 2, except you're using different numbers because it's a different year. 6,600 divided by 150 times 100 to put it into a rate. And your GDP in real values is 4,400. If you wanted to look at how much each person in your economy is contributing in terms of a real GDP, you would use what's known as real GDP per capita. Per capita basically means per person. And so you would take the real GDP divided by the population. And so that means that in the first year, or in this case, year 3, each person in your economy averaged $363 worth of production. In year 4, they averaged $366 worth of production. So we're going to skip ahead to number 6. And if you want to see what the increase is per person from year 3 to year 4, you would just use your percentage change formula. Change over the original times 100. So the real GDP per capita increased by $3.03 a person, divided by the original GDP per capita of $363.63, times 100 to put into a percentage, and that means that the average worker contributed about 0.8 of a percentage more from year 3 to year 4, 0.83%. If you want to look at the total growth in your economy, it's 10%. Because your real GDP grew by $400. The original GDP was 4,000. Multiply it by 100 to put it into a percentage, and you get 10%. Try out another set of problems. You can pause the video. The way you go about getting the answers is the same as the ones for the previous set of questions, except now you just have different values. So go ahead and pause it, try it out. And there are your answers. The method for getting those answers is the same as the method for the previous 6. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through these. Again, pause the video if you'd like. And if you have questions on this, feel free to email me and we can discuss it. So as we break, hang on a second, I got a couple little rascals here. Boys, hey, go on out and go find something to do. Daddy's working right now, okay? Otherwise, I will throttle you. Go on, out. Seriously, out. What? I'm making a video. Just go out and stay out there. Mac, leave him be. Okay? Oh my God. All right. As we break for this next week, because you guys will be on spring break technically, if you're looking for anything to get caught up on, any late work, any missing quizzes are good. If you don't know which quizzes you're missing or which quizzes you have low scores on, check online. Feel free to email me if you'd like. You can go back through some of these and try out real GDP, nominal GDP. I'm also going to put these slides in today's announcement. If you want to go back and review market structures, in this set of slides that's titled Market Structures and Cost of Production, if you give me a second, give it a minute to load. Right down here, what would this be? Slides 11 to 26. 11 to 26 give you different types of industries or businesses, and you got to ask yourself, all right, for Luxottica, would Luxottica be an example of a monopoly, an oligopoly, monopolistic competition, or perfect competition? I don't have an answer key here, but some of them are pretty self-explanatory. Others, there's a little bit of a gray area. What I'll probably do is when we come back from spring break, I'll make a video going over these. So you're welcome to try those out. And also, if you wanted to try out your knowledge of GDP on if a certain good or service counts towards this year's GDP, you can try these out. I've used these with previous classes and also with my AP macroeconomics classes. So all three of these slides, along with this video, I will post to today's announcement. Again, late work is good too, and feel free to hit me up with questions about the economy using the discussion board that I created in Canvas. So hope everybody's doing well out there. Would love to hear from you. If you want to email me, let me know how you're doing. If you have any questions about things that are going on. My God. And hopefully I can keep my sanity here for another week indoors. And if you don't hear from me, it's because I've just given up and walked out in the woods. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.